Hey guys, welcome back to the Silver Ross Podcast. My buddy Anthony's joining us again. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, how's it going? Fresh off a bye week and ready to get back to some football.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but we're back. You know,
Yeah.
so let's jump right into it. Last time around here we previewed the Ravens game, so let's just jump into that real quick.
Bad, and more bad. Next, right? No, but just a terrible game from start to finish. I mean, really, just the only bright spots were Gibbs and St. Brown, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, the corners were just breaking down every time Lamar got out of the pocket. Just didn't get any pressure. And when we did, Lamar just, of course, found a way to escape. And offensive line, probably the worst game we've seen from them in a minute. 5 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And but just the only thing that's nice about it, like last week's Seahawks game versus them, kind of made me feel a little better about it. I'm like, all right, well, the Seahawks got embarrassed by them too, so it's not
Yeah,
just us.
Ravens are a great team. If they
Yeah,
could be consistent offensively in their passing game, they're going to be dangerous. But yeah, Lamar, I felt like we overprepared for him. Like, he just
yeah,
sucked us in. Every time he would move just slightly, the whole defense is like stepping up to him. And then guys were getting behind us, and yeah, he was taking advantage of that. That was so bad.
agreed.
Like, we couldn't do nothing. It was one of those games where nothing's going right. Like you said, only Gibbs and St. Brown did anything. So, and it sucks because Gibbs' first touchdown and first 100 yards game from scrimmage kind of gets overlooked because we got smacked.
Right,
But
right. Those are the only touchdowns. So
yeah, that was so bad. I just chuck it up to, it's the NFL. You look around the league like Kansas City getting beat down by Denver. Like,
right,
it's just one of those weeks. Just you can't have those weeks often. So you got it out the way. So hopefully that's all it was. Ravens are a great team though. So and that was gonna be tough on the road, anyways.
and it's just a little annoying, man. Like everybody was like, oh, if they win this game, like we can't doubt them anymore, and it was
Yeah.
it's just annoying.
Now the narrative is we can't be good teams. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's a stupid, but I just think it was just being on the road. Being on the road's tough, and we just got punched in the mouth. But that's good. They humbled us, and now yeah, that's really what I got to say about that game. But they humbled us, and we had a Monday Night Football game, and we bounced back in good fashion.
Right. Yeah, it was a great game to rebound after the beatdown, and I feel like we still didn't play our best game. Like it was probably like our B minus game, and I just felt like we should have won the game by a lot more points. Especially when we settled for 3 straight field goals to start the game off. But Gibbs, great game, 152 yards on the ground, 26 carries, the touchdown, 5 for 5 on receptions and targets, and 37 yards. It's 189 yards a total.
Yep.
And suck at fantasy nuts. I mean,
Mhm.
29.9 points for PPR. I mean, they could just shut up now.
Yeah, you guys are good now.
Right.
But
But yeah, the defense played elite again. Only allowed 80 yards rushing, and most of that really just came off of that Josh Jacobs drive that they had. They scored their first points of the game.
they really only had one good drive.
Right, and that was where Josh Jacobs got majority of his yards.
Yeah.
Held Jimmy G to 10 for 126 yards and a pick, and he got sacked 6 times. I mean, Devontae Adams shut him down. He was basically, throwing a fit on the sideline at the end of the game, pretty much. And we got their coach fired. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just call it what it is. Their coach got fired after this game.
Yep, and the
National
GM.
TV, they got and the GM. They got embarrassed. We embarrassed them, and their coach is gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game. What did you think?
Yeah, you pretty much said it. We just left too much meat on the bone. Like there
Right.
was, we should have put up 40, and we didn't.
Exactly.
We still won good, but they should have won by more, a lot more, and that's just showing you the potential of this team. It wasn't like our best game, and we still won convincingly. So, but the defense was elite. offensively, Jahmyr Gibbs was insane, and you knew it on that first drive. I was there and I was watching. First drive, he had 30-some yards, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's gonna have a great game. That was crazy. 189,
Yeah.
man, 189 from scrimmage.
He was getting used early and often, and that was just great to see. It was like, okay, all right, we're gonna start using him, and it was just awesome to see that first drive. It was like, all right, let's just keep this momentum going with him.
Yep. And then St. Brown, he said, he was sick. He had flu or whatever, and he said today, like he had blisters on his feet. It was killing him, and he went out there and balled out. I was like, damn, this dude, he has. Out of 7 games that he's played, because he missed one. Out of 7 games he played, he has five of those games he has 100 yards in those games. 500-yard games. Like, that's crazy.
I think he's averaging like 95 yards a game, and that's crazy. 8 receptions a game as well, and that's just he's got to be considered for the guaranteed lock for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's playing at a level where you're gonna have to say he's top 10. Like, I had him just outside, but he has to be top 10. He's balling.
He was like number 10 for me, like 10, 9 range, and you got to put him like higher for me. I put him like top 6. Before producing as much as him.
Yeah, before this last week, he was. I know he's top 5 in catches, and then he was 6th over actually Jamar Chase in receiving yards. Obviously, we had a bye week, so that changed. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, if he finishes in the top 7 with receiving yards, he's definitely, to me, you got to put him up there. And if he get a couple more touchdowns, which I think he will, he has what, like 3 or 4? So,
I think he has 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, if he finishes with 6 plus 7, that would be nice. Yeah. So, he balled. Hutch balled. Like we said, the whole defense, Cam Sutton. Now, everybody wants to say, oh, Jimmy G missed Devontae, but Cam was locking him up. So was Jerry. They were playing great.
No, agreed. I mean, who's the other receiver they have? I can't think of his name. Came from the Patriots. God, what is his name? Jacoby Myers. Yeah. He even got locked up too. Hunter Renfrow. I don't even know if he played, but the whole offense just did not get going at all. And then Laporta basically showed why he was drafted over Mayer, because Mayer didn't do anything either. So
nope. And so we bounced back. It was a good W, and then we had a bye week this week, and this is the healthiest we've been going into the Chargers game. This is the healthiest we've been. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, but I did want to talk about that trade deadline before we head into the Chargers game a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We all wanted Montez Sweat. We all wanted Chase Young, and maybe like the other players that were rumored and whatnot. I know everybody had like their fantasy dreams about Max Crosby and Surtain from the Broncos, but
we were never getting them.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, it would cost too much, and I trust Brad Holmes. And
that's
sucks. It's frustrating because of, honestly, if San Francisco doesn't make the moves and Seattle doesn't make a move and Philly doesn't make a move, and it was just those other players went to different teams, I'm probably not feeling as frustrated as I was that day.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting DPJ. We needed a different receiver after Marv got.
And he's an upgrade from Marvin.
Yes.
So.
Needed a big body receiver, and I like what he did with his time in Cleveland. So
So the trade deadline, I thought we for sure were gonna get one of those edge rushers from Washington, and then we didn't. And I was like, damn, man. But it's also like, okay, well, you already know Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. One thing they've been so consistent on is like they have to fit the culture. They have to. If the characters don't fit, it ain't gonna happen. They don't care. And I don't know if that was it, but they just didn't make a move for one of those guys. And but also, maybe they were like, you know what, we're not gonna pay him, because if you trade a second for Montez, you gotta pay him. Yes. Even maybe Chase Young. Chase Young is a little different because, like, let's say you trade a third, and then you lose, and then he walks in free agency and he gets a big deal. You probably get that third back. But
Right.
still, the idea is you probably would try to pay whatever edge rusher you got. So maybe that was it. I don't know. That would have been fun to see with Hutch, but um, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, we're out. We're not going to compete for the NFC now. I don't think so. I think we still can. I want to see James Houston come back in December and ball the fuck out. Like that was supposed to be the guy opposite of Hutch this year, but he's been hurt. So hopefully he can do that, or Josh Pascal continues to get better. Maybe Julian Okora. He's been playing good. So, we need to see. I just want to see somebody step up on the opposite of Hutch consistently. Like we have Charles Harris, we have Romeo. They've been playing well, but I want to see somebody take advantage of those 1-on-1s. So it was a little disappointing. I was like, damn, that would have been so much fun, but. At the end, like you said, at the end of the day, you trust Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They got us this far. So, it wasn't a move they wanted to make. And, I mean, you think about the Bears. They gave up potentially a top 5 second-round pick, and they paid this dude, what, $98 million?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why the Bears make that move. I honestly don't. I mean, I know they're going to get 2 first-round picks this year, and I have to imagine they're going to move on from Fields. But like, I just don't get why they make that move this early in their rebuild. I mean, they're just not there yet. They've got 3 wins now because they just won on Thursday Night Football. But still,
it's like they don't trust their drafting because they had something they got to prove. Like, these moves will be okay in the long run if they draft well. But, like, if you're not hitting the draft, you can't build a team through free agency and through trades. You just can't. It's not sustainable. I mean, they're not even winning, and they made this move. So, because they didn't just give up a top second-round pick. They gave him $98 million. They gave him, I believe it was 98, and it was like 24 and a half a season. Like...
I mean, and it's also just back-to-back years of them trading second-round picks. I mean, they traded for Chase Claypool, and now this. I mean, I guess you could say, like, oh, like, this is their Khalil Mack move, but, like, I don't know. This team's just not, like, there yet.
Yeah, Montez is going to be... He's not Claypool. He's going to be great. But I don't think he's elite. Like, I think he's a great edge rusher. But, look, we got Hutch. I think Hutch is better. I think he's been better. I think he's going to be better. I think Hutch is going to be elite, and he's on a rookie deal. I mean, that's a premier position, and you got to pay premier money. So, I mean, that was interesting move by Chicago, and they got a hit in the draft. But anyways, Donovan Peoples-Jones, I do like that. It's a low. You traded what, a 6th? In 2025?
I was gonna say the next year's 6th. So basically nothing.
Yeah, because his production this year hasn't been great, but you look at last year, he had a really pretty productive season.
Yeah,
so
it's just their quarterback situation has been all over the place this year. I mean, Watson's up and down and injured, and their running game hasn't been what it's been because Chubb's been injured. So
and their system, they like to run the football. They don't pass it a lot. But remember, their coach was doing that in Minnesota when he was their offensive coordinator. Right. So I'm not surprised by it. But Donovan Peoples-Jones last year, he had 15 catches of 20+ yards, which was up there in the top of the league. So that's impressive. And he's fast. He got size. He's got a good build. So I like him in our receiving core room. I'm not saying he's going to be a 1 or 2, but he don't have to be. I mean,
doesn't have to be. Just has to be that reliable guy. Like when we're down in the red zone, like, hey, like we need you to go get up and catch this ball.
Yeah.
And come down with it. And he's got size. He's got the frame for it. And I feel like the one piece they're missing besides like Laporta, like to go catch that ball like in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully this helps.
Yeah, he's literally what we wanted Marv to be, but he's gonna be better.
Yeah.
Because Marv is just washed at this point. But Donovan Peoples-Jones is, only been in the league for a couple years. And, he's going to be... I like our receiving core, dude. I like it, St. Brown, Jamo, Josh Reynolds, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Khalif. Am I missing somebody?
Well, I mean, that's the receiver,
I think that's it.
I feel like.
Yeah. Those are our 5?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a good. I like
the
that.
practice squad guys.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good group.
Can't complain.
No, I mean it's another weapon, and it's cost you nothing,
Yeah,
essentially. So,
basically. Yeah,
I
essentially
mean,
nothing.
yeah, I mean not even a pick next year. It's a year after.
I mean, you think we're gonna be complaining about a pick like next year's not like this upcoming draft, but the years after's draft? Like, oh no, where's our 6th round pick? No,
Right,
we're
gonna
not.
forget about it.
Right.
So, yeah, so yeah, it was a good move despite not going after what we thought would happen. Still fine.
Right.
We're still all right.
Yeah, I just didn't like seeing all the slander. I mean, Lions fans are so passionate, so like
Yeah,
just quick to be like, "What the heck?"
they just flipped
Saying,
out.
yeah, they flipped, and it's just just give it time, man. I know
And,
like
and they act like
this
our
is
window is just this year. Like they forget we
yes,
are the young upcoming threat in the
yeah,
NFC. Like this is going to be a thing we do for you, and that's the reason Brad said, you know what, I'm going to keep my second and third round picks because I can get a guy on a rookie deal, and continue to. He likes to draft. He does really good at drafting. So
right,
yeah, give him all the picks he wants. So let him keep them. And yeah, we're gonna be in the conversation for the NFC Super Bowl contender for years to come. So Lions fans
yeah.
do need to calm down a little bit. We still all right.
I agree, and that's just where I'm looking. It's like, all right, this is our first year of like sitting at the big boys table, and I don't feel like yeah, you could make that move if you really want to, but like I don't know, looking at the rest of the NFC North, like I don't want to like say it already, but like just looking at the NFC North, like no one else in this division scares me, especially after Kirk Cousins goes down for the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just what they were thinking about. Like, all right, we're probably gonna make the playoffs this year. Let's just see how far we go and address what we need next year.
Yeah. Don't get too desperate.
Right, right.
Yeah, because the NFC is ours. NFC North, it means ours.
I
Um,
mean,
Kirk was
it's
the
like
with the
sorry.
Vikings. They had the best chance. I still wasn't really worried, but they had the best chance. Now it's just like, yeah, they might get the 7th seed, but they're not. When no one's, we got the NFC North. I'm not worried about that. Which is weird to say because usually I'm like, wait a minute, let's just see how it goes. But no, 6-2, the NFC North is bad. So yeah, I think it's locked up for sure.
I mean, that's just a little cautious as a Lions fan.
True.
We haven't won the division in forever, so I
Yep.
especially during that's my time watching the team, so
Same.
I'm a little cautious with it.
Right. Right. All right.
Chargers time.
Yep. Chargers time because we're coming out the spy, healthy, ready to go.
All right. I feel like we could really win this game. I mean, like you said earlier, like our team's finally getting really healthy now. Offensive line, especially coming back. I think we're getting Jonah Jackson back, Ragnow back, and I'm not sure about Vitae, but I know Monty's coming back too. That's huge. Our offense
Hmm.
is coming together and healthy now, and we're gonna need them this game. The Chargers, they have a pretty good run defense. They've only allowing running backs 3.6 yards per carry right now, and that's like 5th best in the league. So our running game is going to be tested this game, but on the flip side, their pass defense is literally the worst in the league. So our Jared Goff is going to be dealing this game. I feel like the receivers are going to be eating, and they haven't faced a quarterback or offense like this in a minute. They faced the Bears with their backup, and then Zach Wilson and the Jets last week. So I honestly feel like this is going to be a good game. My prediction for this game, 31-20, and possible JMO breakout game. I just keep seeing practice videos of him during the bye week and now this week, and I feel like they're really trying to get him involved and like integrated in this offense and like caught up to speed.
Yeah, this feels like a Jameson Williams breakout game. His
Yeah,
opportunities are going to be there. I hope he gets it. I hope he has 100 yards and breaks out. But most importantly, we win. It's going to be tough. We're going on the road. Look, they need a new coach, but they have all the talent in the world,
yeah,
and it's going to be tough. They got Justin Herbert. He's a stud.
bad
He's
man.
he's literally a young Matthew Stafford, and he's like he has a more talented team, but coaching, defense, that kind of thing, like Matthew had, and he's getting blamed for them not winning playoff games and stuff. and
I
division
don't think it's the
titles.
same way.
Bro, he's literally Stafford. You think about it. Stafford in the NFC North. He's in the same division as Patrick Mahomes, who Stafford was in the same division as Aaron Rodgers. Literally the same, and he's getting all this blame. I'm like, dude, this kid's a stud. He's an elite quarterback. I would love him. We could have had him if we knew Stafford was going to leave a year after. Probably would have drafted him, but yeah, and I think it's just crazy how people do that. Because I watch him, I'm just like, you guys are crazy if you don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, you got to be cautious of him. We got to put pressure on him consistently and actually bring him down. Because he can extend plays pretty well. So, and make any throw. And then,
obviously Keenan Allen scares me, but like
that's what I was going to say. Yep.
But like besides that, man, the receiving corps are just not as good. Mike Williams is done for. I think he's out, and I don't know if he's done for
tore his ACL.
Okay, so he is. Yeah, he's out for the year. And then Quentin Johnston hasn't been producing. I know he's a rookie, but he hasn't
he hasn't broke out yet.
Yeah, he hasn't broke out yet. So it's like okay.
And so it's really Mike Williams. If you just gotta, because he can break a game loose, but you just gotta watch him and Austin Eckler. But I like Cam's matchup, Cam or Jerry. Yeah. Hopefully Cam. He's obviously our best corner. And then, just don't let Eckler go stupid. I mean, we can't let him have like a historical game, like from the scrimmage yards.
Right.
Our run defense is gonna be a little tested, and then he's a mismatch in the pass game too. So you take care of those things. I think the Lions will be all right. It's gonna be a good test for our defense because it's hard. We haven't faced too many good quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes did well against him. Lamar Jackson killed us. Baker was solid, but who said? Oh, Geno
Smith. Yeah.
Yep. He's a solid quarterback, but Justin Herbert's probably the best quarterback outside of the Lamar and Patrick that we faced.
Right.
So, it's going to be tough for our defense. It's going to be a good test, especially on the road. And then offensively, their defense isn't great, but they have guys they have talent. They have some good pass rushers. I don't know if Joey's going to play. We'll see. But Derwin James is a beast. We got Khalil Mack. So
they had 8 sacks last week against the Jets, but that's the Jets' offensive line, not ours.
Yeah.
And it's just their defense did look the best it's looked all season, or at least in a minute. And it's just like, okay, but like I don't know, it's the Jets, man. Their offense is not that good.
Right.
And I guess they could be saying the same thing about us against the Raiders, but like I don't know, we've at least shown consistency all season, at least.
Right.
At least in some parts of the season. And but yeah, I feel like this game is gonna be a passing game where we just try to shoot it out. I honestly just feel like we get the best out of them. Like I said, 31-20 is my prediction, and I feel like we walk out of there with the dub. I feel like Lions fans are gonna show up. Chargers fans don't really show up at their games as much as we do. So I feel like we're gonna take over that stadium again.
Yep, we've been doing it a lot this season.
Right.
And they want to use Jameer. I feel like they're gonna use him like 50-50 now. Now that he's gotten going, even though David's back and Jonah's back and Ragnell's back, and they said, or Dan said that Big V's back. He's good, but Glasgow's gonna get the start over him. So because he's been playing great. So we're healthy. We're ready to go.
Right.
And if they're
rated signing too.
Oh my goodness, because he wasn't great in Denver
this year. Right.
He wasn't great in Denver, but I knew he's gonna come. He's gonna come here. He's our sixth best offensive lineman. That's perfect.
He's just so motivated, and
Oh yeah.
He loves being back here. He probably loves the atmosphere and the staff, and
Yeah.
he's just motivated to be on a winning team, and that's just probably all he needed. Fifth guy or whatever. I mean, he is been used as center. He's been used at guard for both the guards that have been out.
Yep.
And,
Both guard spots. Yep.
Right. Kind of like just the sixth man of the year. We'll take him.
He's always been good with us though. Like when we drafted him, he was a good guard and center. Then he left, got some money. Then he's back, and he's been really good for us. So, and with us being healthy, Jonah's back. Ragnall's back. Sue and Decker are good. Like, That's great. He's our fifth best offensive lineman. That's perfect. But so if they stop our run game, that's okay because we're versatile. We can throw the ball. Goff showed that against Tampa Bay. Like he's like, you guys want to stop a run game? Cool. We'll throw the ball. So and now we have Jamal's getting reps, so he's only going to get better. And then you got DPJ, so Saint's probably better than he was a couple weeks ago.
We're using Gibbs more in the passing game too.
That's true.
He's been getting like 5 targets a week, so I
Yep.
maybe
So there's
ramped it up a little bit more, maybe to 6 or 7. And honestly, you got him, St. Brown, and Laporta, and after that you got
Laporta. Yep.
Yep, and you got your tool guys in Raymond and Reynolds, and then you got your big play and potential in JMO, and then you got your big body in DPJ. I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Honestly, we got the guys to score, and I also feel like that's why our offense is just a little bit better than what their defense has been playing, and our offensive weapons are better than theirs at this point in time. So that's why I got my 31-20 prediction. I kind of went back and forth of if they score more points or not, or if we score more points or not, or if it's a shootout or not, or last minute. But I was like, you know what? This is the score that just keeps coming to me, 31-20. And getting the 7-2 would be so huge,
so big.
It's kind of like a must at this point with where we are in the season. When we get to our record predictions. But just staying at where we're at, or hoping for the Eagles to lose. This is just where we need to be. We need to win these games, man.
We would be fine if we lost in LA, and because the next 2 games we got Chicago and Green Bay at home. Yeah. And if you start the season, that would put us at what, 8-3? You start the season 8-3. That's not bad. It's just if you lose this game, they're gonna be like, oh, you can't win. You can't be a good team. So I really want this one. But even if we get this one, I feel like they're going to be like, well, Chargers ain't that good of a team, So, but you want to take care of business. So, yeah, you just offensively, we're getting healthier. We're getting our best weapons more involved. Gibbs and Jamo. So, we're healthy. Yeah, I'm excited. Get pressure on Justin Herbert. I want to see us actually sack him, though. Not like with Lamar, we got pressure, but he got out of it. We got to sack him. Yeah. Hopefully some hutch sacks. That'd be awesome. And then just be sticking the back end, Our cornerbacks have been playing really good. Secondary's been playing really good. So stop the run, and just play our ball. And if we can run the ball, great. If you can't, that's cool. We can throw it. So, yeah, I do think the Lions win, though. I think we have better coaching. So, but I think I'm probably going to say a little closer. I think maybe 30-23. Yeah. I think if it's a little closer, maybe we hit a field goal being up 27-23 and then the defense takes the ball away for the game winner or something like that.
Gotcha. All right, yeah. I mean, that's basically around the same thing in mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just 31-20 was, like I said, it was the one that was sticking in my head, just
right.
Where I kept on going back and forth. But
I hope yours is right. That'd be less stressful.
Me too. But yeah, this is a game that I thought at the beginning of the season we would lose. I thought 6-3 was my record prediction around this time. I thought it would be lose to the Chargers, Ravens, and Chiefs.
Yep.
And so, but I don't know, the way just watching us this year.
Yeah, you could lose. You could lose this game on the road. It's definitely it's like the Ravens one. Mm-hmm. You could lose one. Hopefully, it's not like that game. That was terrible. But it's one game you could lose. But every time we go into a game, I feel this team can beat anybody. So I'm gonna say they're gonna win. You know what I mean? Because I think we're a better team for one. I think we have better coaches. So really, everything I think we're better than them. Better O-line, better weapons. I think we have a better defense. So yeah, I think we should win. So yeah, go in there, start the season 7-2. Then you get Chicago and Green Bay next. Dude, oh my gosh.
That's why almost it's a must because the next 2 games.
Because then if you get those 2 wins, you're sitting at 9-2 after Thanksgiving, bro.
Right.
What?
Right.
That's basically playoffs.
Right, already tied our record from the last season at that point. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
sky's the limit at that point. Plus, like I said, with our season predictions, with our the playoffs teams and whatnot, but like, I honestly feel like we this is a game that we really need to win.
Yeah. If you want to stay in as a top 2 seed, yeah,
Yep.
you really need to get this one because
Yep.
the Eagles only have one loss, and then the Niners right behind us, and they only have one less loss than us, or more loss than us. I mean, um, so you ready for our playoff seed predictions for each conference?
Yeah. Do you want to start with the AFC first? Kind of leave the NFC to
Yeah,
end. All right. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
sure. So my number 1 seed, I got the Chiefs. Um, Chiefs defense playing great. Mahomes is Mahomes. So yeah, I mean they beat the Miami Dolphins, a good team.
Right.
You know, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, really, and they're off to a good start, so I think they're going to hold on for that number 1 seed. And then, 2, I got the Ravens. Their schedule gets a little tougher, but I feel like they can hang on to the number 2 seed based off of what I've seen the last few weeks. Like, they've been so dangerous. They can consistently be that offensively. Like, they definitely can maybe even get number 1 seed. So I have them 2. And then I have Miami 3. I think they're just so far ahead of like Buffalo right now that they're gonna win the division. Even if Buffalo starts winning, I feel like Miami's just gonna be the one to win that division. So, because what are they like? Are they 6-2, 6-3?
I feel like they're 6-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
So I mean, they're not too far ahead of Buffalo, but I still like them to win the division right now. And then 4, this one's closer. So I got Jacksonville, but I think it's going to be close between Jacksonville and Houston. CJ Stroud's been balling, and he's so much fun to watch. He reminds me, like, you remember when we had, Stafford in 2011, like he would just throw for a bunch of yards. And you just saw it. He's just like dicing up teams as that young quarterback. And we were hoping we were on the upcome, And then that's kind of how Houston is. I feel like C.J. Stroud, nice. I remember in the.
Oh, he reminds me of like Joe Burrow's like rookie year before he got injured.
Mm.
And I'm not saying he's gonna be Joe Burrow, but like what I'm saying is like when he first came on and he was doing good, they were like, this kid's really good. Like, okay, like he's got it. Like out the gate, like he was like, all right, this kid's got it. And then he got injured, but like he's just instantly just showing that like, yep, this kid is really good. And almost 500 yards last week. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I like the comparison. Because Joe doesn't really have like an elite arm. He has a great one. He's just very accurate and smart with it, and that's how I see CJ.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a little jealous because I mean, I don't think he's like Stafford, but I remember when Stafford was younger, and that was fun. You were a bad team, but your quarterback. Well, you were hoping your team was becoming better, and your quarterback was just dicing up teams, and you're just like, man, this guy can be something. And so as Houston needs to build around him. But, CJ is fun to watch. As a Michigan fan, he's fun to watch. And I defended him in the offseason. After he failed that quarterback test or whatever, people were like, oh, he's going to suck. I'm like, no. Have you never seen him throw a football? He's not going to suck. Right. And, he's just balling. So I think they're going to push Jacksonville, but I think Jacksonville pulls away and gets that division.
Yeah.
And then here's the wild card. So, that's my 4 seeds, and so there's only 3 wild card spots, but the AFC has like 6 teams battling for it. Chargers, Jets, Bills, Browns, Bengals, and Steelers, and maybe Houston. So maybe 7 teams, bro. Like that's crazy. But I have 5. I have the Bengals getting 5. They're getting hot at the right time, and Joe is Joe. He's a monster. They got plenty of offensive weapons. Their defense playing well. So I think they get 5. I think the Browns actually get 6. This one's tough. But that defense is so nice, and I thought they would be worse because of that offense, with Chubb going down and Watson's been in and out. But maybe, yeah. You know what? No, I'd probably say Bills 6 and then Browns 7. This one was hard because you got the Steelers too. Steelers and Browns are similar. Two amazing defenses, inconsistent offenses. But so this was tough. So, but yeah, I think Bills 6. I think Browns 7. That defense is just so nasty, bro. I'm just like, if Watson can be, and that offense can be, yeah. If you're top 15, top 18, like maybe even top 20, that defense is so good. Yeah. So, yeah, I think those are my 7 in the AFC. The AFC is so tough because the Chargers really need to get going, so they really need this win this weekend against us. But if they don't, I don't know if they can make the playoffs, and I don't know if they want to because they really need a new coach. So, and then the Jets, they're trying, they're hanging on, but the AFC is so deep, bro. So yeah, to me, it's like it really comes down to like the last seed, maybe the Browns and Steelers, maybe even Houston. But yeah, I think I have Browns at 7.
Okay. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say my top 6 are pretty much the exact same as you. Like I had Chiefs 1, Ravens 2, Dolphins 3, Jags 4, Bengals 5, Bills 6, and my last seed I did have the Chargers. You might have talked me out of it, like saying like I don't know. I was going back like looking back about last year, and everybody thought they weren't gonna make it, and then they just like it was like 5 out of the last 7 games they ended up winning, and they ended up sneaking into the playoffs as well. And so I feel like that I trust Justin Herbert, man. Like that's just where it comes down to. I can't see him not making the playoffs. But I could totally see Houston doing it if C.J. Stroud continues, and if he wins this game against the Bengals, like I'm talking serious major MVP consideration after this game. I don't care if he's a rookie. I mean, to do what he's done.
I would love, as a football fan, I would love to see C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert in the playoffs with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Oh my goodness, that would be a fun playoffs, dude. So
Josh Allen too. Right?
Josh Allen
and Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my goodness, it's like they got all the quarterbacks, bro.
Yeah, NFC is stacked, man.
Yeah, so that's honestly what I would prefer. But I just kind of went off of what I think. But like, I would love that. That would be so much fun. So I definitely would love to see that.
I can see the Browns. I can see the Steelers as well. I don't know. I don't trust their offenses, man. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
Can't keep, like Matt Canada runs like the most basic drive offense in the league at the Steelers,
and they have weapons.
Yes, and their defense is good. It's like I don't know how they beat the Steelers, and that's kind of like where like I stopped putting those two teams in there because like those teams have not really like had to face each other too much already, and when the meat and the bones come down to the schedule with the AFC North, those games are bloodbaths, and I just feel like they're gonna kind of like cannibalize those last two teams. So that's why I feel like the Chargers might sneak in, or the Houston could sneak in as well. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't really like anybody else in the AFC East with the Jets and obviously the Patriots, and I don't like anybody else in the West and the South. Don't really like anybody else in the South either.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. I just have the Chargers over the Browns, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that was the AFC. Now let's jump to our conference, the NFC.
Alright, I'll probably hit this one first.
Okay.
I got the Eagles getting the first seed, and me and you kind of like said privately like that we kind of don't want the Lions to get the first seed. I'll be curious to see like why you think that, or like why you would want that after. But yeah, I got the Lions. I just honestly think like our schedule is really favorable compared to the other teams. It's not a shot to the other teams, but like or bias in any way. I just honestly feel like our schedule is lined up for us to take that 2 seed and the 1 seed, and getting home field advantage and to start off the playoffs would be so huge, so huge. I honestly think we could get the first seed if the Eagles slip up and we just keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. The Eagles have been rolling lately. They started off kind of slow for their standards, and now I feel like they're catching back up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 3, I got the 49ers. I do think they edge Seattle, especially like I feel like they've got their 3 losses out of the way, and I feel like they're just gonna just keep getting better. I mean, Seattle couldn't capitalize even when San Francisco had a bye week, got blown out by the Ravens. But 4 is interesting. I mean, really just pick one of the 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going with the Saints. I just trust their team a little bit better. The Falcons are a very frustrating team this year. The Bucks, I don't really trust Baker Mayfield as much. They got a scrappy team, I'll give them that, and they're full of veterans and they've been there. But I feel like the Saints are gonna take it this year in the South. 5, I got the Cowboys. I feel like they got a good schedule, and I feel like they only got one more game against the Eagles left. I feel like they can get the 5 seed. I honestly think the Seahawks could, but I gave it to the Cowboys this time. So the 6, I got the Seahawks. Honestly, I think they're a really good team. They've just got their ass beat against the Ravens. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
They got a really good weapons, good run game. Now they just added Quentin Williams to their defensive line, which is really going to help. And then the 7 is also interesting. I really didn't know who to pick for this. You could have went with the Falcons, you could have went with the Bucks, and then you could have went with the Vikings. I mean, besides that, I honestly don't see any other team competing for that 7 seed. But I went with the Vikings. I honestly think Dobbs does enough, especially when Justin Jefferson comes back off of injury.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do just enough, like 8-9, 9-8, gets the job done for the 7 seed.
Yep. Actually, we have the same. Yeah, we had the same exact one. So, yep, because I got Eagles 1, but yeah, I do got Lions 2, and I prefer that because. So, I know if we get the first seed, of course we get straight into the divisional week. We get a bye week 1, but we got this monkey in our back. That's that playoff one we haven't had. So I want to get that out the way in the wild card round. And number 2, you're getting the number 7 seed, and there's a huge fall off from the 6th seed to the 7th seed. Just the 7th seed isn't going to be a great football team. You're going to have a favorable matchup. Of course, you got to still go out and win it. But I feel like we're going to take care of business in our house, being favored against Vikings, against the Falcons, against the Bucks, against the Rams, whoever it is at 7. Like we're going to be heavily favored, and that's a good first playoff win to get off your back. So, and then you get really ready to put the gloves on round 2 in divisional round. That's why I want the number 2 seed over number 1.
That's honestly where I was too. Like that in my head, like going through it, like just earlier in the week, I'm like, man, like I almost don't want it just so we can get that first playoff win, and it kind of propels us maybe to the NFC Championship game. Like it helps us in the divisional round.
Yeah, because you're not thinking about it then. Like if you go into the divisional game, you're like, oh, I gotta get this playoff win. We need this. We haven't had this in forever. But you're not worried about that now. You got it, and then you'll see what happens. So I think we'd be better off for it. So yep, I got us at 2, Niners at 3. They have 3 losses, but they're gonna get going. We want them over Seattle because remember, Seattle is a tiebreaker over us. So we want them to win their division. And then 4, I got the same one, Saints. I trust their team more than the Bucks or the Falcons. Falcons are close, man. I like the defense. They got some weapons, but they don't know how to use any of their weapons.
Exactly.
So
frustrating.
Yeah, and their quarterback situation is frustrating. So it's like, yeah, don't really trust that. The Bucks, I like their team. It's just I don't like their coach. And so the Saints, just Dennis Allen's been pretty good. He's a pretty good coach. And they have a good defense. They have some solid weapons on offense. So yeah, I think they're going to win the division, and then lose. But and then 5, I got Dallas 5. Dominant defense, good offense. I just don't think they're going to beat Philly. But yeah, favorable schedule. And then Seattle 6, good football team. Um, yeah, the defense isn't actually. They're doing solid. They're much better than last year. The defense made that big trade now. I love their secondary. They have weapons in the on offense, and then Smith. I want to see Geno kind of do what he was doing last year though, more consistently. So you do want to see that. But and then yeah, 7. There's a couple of teams it could have been. I want to see the Rams, and they could, but they got to start winning now. Like they're behind. They're even the Packers are in front of them. Like they're behind.
That's why I
So
didn't even consider them, to be honest. Like I love Stafford and what he did.
yeah,
I like their team. Their team's like young and fun, and
yeah.
I just I looked at their record and I'm like, man, I don't see.
They're
it.
what, like 3-5?
I think they're 3-5, 3-6.
Yeah. See, that's hard. They got like 4 or 5 teams in the NFC in front of them, and Washington's right behind Minnesota. But I do think Minnesota, their coach is. I wasn't sure about their head coach, but look, they're winning games without Kirk, without Justin Jefferson. That's impressive. So I don't care who is against. And I think Dobbs or Hall, but probably Dobbs, can be just good enough. Just don't turn the ball over and get it to your weapons. Now they do need to have some kind of run game to help out, but
They've had none. I mean,
yeah, so
touchdowns all year. So
yeah, that's rough. So you got to get something going. But yeah, they have weapons, and their defense is much better than last year. And they Danielle Hunter's balling out. So I think they're gonna, and their schedule is not too hard. It gets easier. So I think they're gonna win enough to get the 7th seed, honestly. So yeah,
they got to start winning more now because they have us at the end of the season and 2 games in 3 weeks, and that could really end their chances if we sweep them at the end of the season. I don't know if we will, but I'm just saying, like, there is that possibility that could just kick them out of the playoffs at that point. So they better start winning now, and winning a majority of their games.
Right. And the one thing I do worry about is, okay, if we're 2 and they're 7, means we'd play them 3 times in 4 weeks.
Right.
So that does worry. I do get a little worried because then I'm like, if we sweep them, it would be such an NFL thing for a team to sweep one team in the regular season and then they get them in the wild card and lose.
Right.
Oh, that would be so crushing. But I do think the way that our team's coached and Dan Campbell handles himself and handles his team, like, that we'd be ready. But as Lions fan, you always worry about that kind of thing, though.
Exactly. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Until you just said it.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to sweep them now.
Right, you almost want to say, let's just get us one time.
Right. Win the first one, you guys can have that last game, and we'll beat you in the playoffs.
Right. That's the most important thing. Because if you sweep them and then you lose in the playoffs, it does not matter. You just...
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Division, nothing matters. No.
Right. They're
not
going to let us forget it.
Yeah, so you gotta take care of business, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, this weekend go to LA, beat the Chargers, and start the season 7-2.
Exactly. I feel like that would just be so huge if we get that.
Man, it'd be great. So, yeah, we shall see in a couple of days, huh?
Right. I can't wait. This last Sunday just felt just weird not having.
Yeah, the bye week took too dang long. It was a long bye.
I agree. It just took
man.
Way too long.
Yeah, I'm ready for some Lions football.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I didn't know what to do with myself last week. I just usually when I watch football, I watch my Lions and then I pick like 2 or 3 other games that I'm like interested in, and I'll watch those, or like I'll watch the Cowboys because my wife's a big fan of them.
Right.
And if she's not pissed off at them, we're watching them. And then besides that, like last week I just didn't do that much, and it was just like, I need my Lions to like really get me in the football mood.
Right.
So I'm just really excited to have them back this week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game. Cannot wait. You have anything else?
No, not really. I mean, we pretty much handled everything we've wanted to talk about this episode.
Yeah,
we got it done. 49 minutes? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we did well. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. If you like, subscribe and tell your friends. So,
Tell your friends, share it if you guys can, and it would mean the world to us.
Yep. So thank you guys, and go Lions, one pride, baby.
Yep. Yep. Go Lions. See you next time.